Hey guys, it's Chris. From prehistoric shark fossils we still don't know how to put together to sharks that strike like a snake, here are 8 of the strangest sharks of all time. Number 8. Stethacanthus. The Stethacanthus goes by 2 other names. One is the Anvil Shark, and the other is the ironing board shark. This was because it was born and existed during the Late Devonian to Early Carboniferous eras, which were well over 320 million years ago, by the way. It had a very unusual dorsal fin. Most sharks have a dorsal fin that is shaped to help them cut through the water, making them very aerodynamic, if you will. However, the Stethacanthus had one that was tall and flat on the top and had spikes coming out of it. These spikes were dermal denticles, which were kind of scales, for lack of a better word, that would cover the shark, but very enlarged versions of them. Furthermore, the denticles also covered the head of the Stethacanthus. The biggest mystery about this shark is what the flat fin and the denticle spikes were used for. The obvious answer is to ward away predators, which would make sense given that the shark was only about 3 feet long at max length, and there were plenty of larger predators in the oceans of the prehistoric world. However, this has not been proven or confirmed. Another theory states that these were used in some kind of mating ritual, and to what end is unclear. Research continues on this strange shark, and fossils of it have been found in North America, Europe, and even Asia. Number 7. Basking Shark. Sharks have a reputation for being violent killers, as well as aggressors in the oceans no matter what their species. However, that's of course not true, and the basking shark that lives in the world today is proof of that. This is a large shark that has a rather docile personality, and doesn't even have a big appetite. Size-wise, the basking shark can vary, with reports saying that it can reach up to 44 feet in length, though that's technically unconfirmed. The average is about 20 to 26 feet in length. Its personality, though, is what makes it strange to many. It's not an active predator and only eats plankton. Specifically, it's a filter feeder, meaning that it uses its massive mouth to catch food. It'll process them in a way that gets the nutrients it needs, and then it'll expel the rest out through its gills. Basking sharks are also one of the few shark species that lives in groups, with their schools sometimes going up to 100 members, which is something more common to whales than sharks. These schools stick together and migrate during the seasonal changes. And they're so smart that they're able to segregate the schools into males and females. Because of their non-aggressive nature, they can be kind to humans. However, because of their habit of swimming very slowly, they've been prime targets for human fishermen and hunters. Their size provides a lot of meat, oil, and other wonders to sell. The species was put under protection by many countries after hunting got out of control. Number 6. Edistos. The Edistidae are one of the lesser-known species of shark from the prehistoric era. They're part of the genus Edistos, and were also known as the scissor-tooth shark because of their mouths. These strange sharks lived in the Late Devonian to the Late Carboniferous period of history, over 400 million years ago, and their mouths were what helped them stand out then and now. For while many sharks of the ancient and modern world had teeth that were straight and basic, the Edistidae genus had ones that were curved, literally. The top jaw folded upward while the bottom jaw folded downward. What's more, these sharks only had one set of teeth, which was unlike most other sharks who have teeth that regrow after they get worn out or broken. Due to these facts, it's unclear to many scientists how the scissor-tooth shark hunted, since it couldn't clamp down on fish like its brethren. The working theory is that they would use their teeth to slash at prey and then eat them after. Scientists do agree, though, that they were a fierce predator in the waters, mainly because they were over 20 feet in length. And now for number 5. But first, what's your favorite type of shark? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Number 5. Saw shark. If you wish to look for a truly strange shark that lives in our waters today, you would need look no further than the saw shark. As the name suggests, it's very reminiscent of a human saw tool, but technically speaking, it's in fact a nose extension called a flattened rostrum. And along that flattened rostrum are a series of teeth arranged in a saw-like fashion. They use that saw-like appendage to slash at prey in order to kill them, mainly by stunning them so they don't fight back. There are 8 different species of saw shark in total. They have quite a range of waters and depths they like to be at. Many species are found in the Indian Ocean, and some can be found near the surface or thousands of feet below sea level. The size of the saw sharks vary depending on the species. They typically roam around on the ocean floor and use barbels that are on the saw in order to sense prey that are nearby or hiding. Number 4. The Prehistoric Helicoprion. While many ancient and present sea creatures have odd-shaped mouths at times, the Helicoprion may just be one of the most odd creatures ever made because of its very unique mouth. The Helicoprion was a shark that had a mouth that went inward, making it resemble a circular saw of sorts. No shark in today's world, or as best known in the prehistoric world, had a mouth like this. In fact, no other creatures that we know of have a mouth that's quite like this. And the Helicoprion wasn't the biggest. Its average size was about 15 feet, which puts it on the small size of shark size averages. However, despite its small size, it was very endurant, for it was one of the 10% of life on Earth to have withstood the Permian-Triassic extinction. Many mysteries still surround this shark, including what it ate, or how it used its mouth to eat at all. Because of its weird composition, none would likely have believed the Helicoprion existed without fossils proving its mouth shape. Number 3. Goblin Shark. The Goblin Shark, also known as the Vampire Shark, is one of the most interesting things you will find in places like the Mariana Trench. And why is that? Well, its age. Its species is said to have lived for 125 million years. They're believed to be so old that some scientists refer to them as living fossils. While most sharks are considered to be scary in one form or another, most agree that the Goblin Shark is terrifying because, well, it looks like a goblin. What's more, its scary reputation is earned because of a unique feature on it. That's because the elongated nose of the Goblin Shark is full of electromagnetic sensors. It can detect even the smallest discharge of electricity, such as in a prey's brain. Yet that's not what makes it terrifying. When it does find food, it'll not only lock onto it, it'll extend its mouth from its body and chomp down on the foe, like the aliens from the Aliens movies. And that's a feature that's not common with sharks or other species on Earth. On average, the goblin or vampire shark is said to be around 10 feet long. But because of their rarity and the fact that the adults tend to live in deeper waters that humanity can't reach easily, it's possible that the goblin sharks are much bigger than we realize. Number 2. Whale Shark. In terms of size, the biggest shark in the world is the whale shark. What's more, there's a reason it's called the biggest fish in the world, as they've been recorded as growing up to 66 feet in length, and they weigh a massive 25 tons. Which is about 50,000 pounds. While many aquatic creatures like to live in certain areas all over the world, the whale shark is different in that it doesn't mind traveling all over the world. The whale shark will go to big ocean areas, small seas, and even travel to places near rivers if they can reach it. It eagerly moves around, rarely staying in one spot for too long. This has earned them the title of being cosmopolitan, not the sort of title you'd think you'd find associated with a shark too often. Another interesting thing about the whale shark is that unlike its brethren, it prefers to be near the surface, which is why it often gets spotted. And yet when it needs to, it'll dive down deep into the ocean's waters, even diving as far as 700 meters down with ease. Arguably, the biggest defining feature of the whale shark is that it's one of 3 shark species that are non-aggressive, and they're filter feeders. Much like a whale, it only eats small fish and plankton. Sometimes it'll just swim with its mouth open and catch what it can. It will hunt if it can't get food this way, though. Number 1. Frilled Shark. Though many animals from the prehistoric era have long since passed on, some remain in one form or another. And here is the case of another living fossil. The frilled shark dates back to the Cretaceous period. An easy way to tell that the frilled shark doesn't come from our current age of history is just to look at its body composition. It doesn't have a large dorsal fin. Instead, it has numerous fins on the side and bottom of its body. Its skin also looks very rugged and worn, which many have likened to certain types of eels. In fact, the frilled shark has been compared to an eel a lot because of its length and movement capabilities that are more akin to eels than sharks. Which is, I guess, appropriate given that it's only about 6.6 feet long at max. Their elongated heads and necks are also an oddity as they don't match other sharks of the modern age. One of the odder things about the frilled shark is that they're rarely seen by humans. You'll need to go 5,000 feet below sea level in certain parts of the ocean like the Atlantic and Pacific just to see one, though some reports have it close to the surface in other areas, such as in Suruga Bay, Japan, where it's said to be only 660 feet below sea level at max. So I guess it's kind of everywhere, but you probably won't see it. Either way though, this fish is one of a rare few that are an observable window into the prehistoric world, which is why many want to study it. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these strange prehistoric and modern sharks? Which one of these strange ones did you think was the strangest? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time.